I discovered an interaction that can lead to a crazy new playstyle. I'll call this the Inferno Ring, because this item tech allows you to constantly burn all enemies around you, like if you had a super Sunfire cape. Here's how the Inferno tech works. So, the most significant thing about Unending Despair is that the cooldown is currently 4 seconds, so every 4 seconds it does the thing, which is pretty impactful because in combat, while it's active, it'll keep you in combat on its own. Previous versions of Unending Despair, it had too long of a cooldown, so if you weren't in combat, it would just stop. But now, it can sustain itself. The actual tick of the Unending Despair procs spell effects, like Luden's, and a couple more. The most significant one, in my opinion, is Liandry's, because one tick will proc Liandry's, and because you can permanently stay in combat, you will continually burn everything. What makes this really good is that Liandry's is on its own a very, very powerful item, because just the damage it has is really high, but it's really effective on champions that don't have a lot of damage, because this isn't like scaling damage. It's like, it's percent damage, but it's not like, it doesn't synergize with other items, besides like the actual AP that it has. So the base value it has is really high, so meeting a champion like Leona, she is a support that is known for having good damage, not like very consistent kill threat, but she like can almost kill carries like pretty reliably. She can like definitely threaten, but with Liandry specifically, that gives her enough damage just to be able to 1v1 like any kind of carry, like AD carries, junglers, mid laners, like if they're squishy enough. Like she could just one-shot them. And Liandry's also has a little bit of just like tankiness because it has the health. So with this item combo, you are sacrificing a little bit of tankiness for a massive increase in damage output on champions that aren't known for dealing damage. So like Leona and like a lot of support tanks this works on, but this also just works on normal tanks. This works on AP bruisers. Anyone that would kind of be okay with building Unending Despair. Because the main idea is that you want to be in combat and surrounded by as many enemies as possible, so you want to be a champion that's inherently tanky or mobile. The best situation to use this build is when both teams have low range, as it makes it easier to hit more targets with Unending Despair, and it makes it less punishing to go for a slightly squishier build. The ultimate goal of the build is to provide either damage or tankiness as efficiently as possible, without sacrificing much of the other. If you want to see more League tech like this, or similar tech in TFT, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And because a lot of my content is finding ways to make niche tech viable, if you have anything you'd like me to explore, feel free to let me know in the comments below. In this game, I am playing Rel top, and get completely dumpstered by Cassio and friends to the point where I individually can't play the game. There's no way! But by virtue of picking a support champion top, who isn't meant to have much gold anyway, I can still find ways to make plays. The gold I do manage to scrape up is put towards being as useful as possible, with Liandry's actually allowing me to still threaten enemies. And because the rel pick here actually synergizes incredibly well with the team comp, I can just continue to group with my team and have it impact on fights. Yeah. Eventually, I do scrape enough gold to be able to deal with enemies on my own. Like, I actually just have the damage. And I can Liandry's burn objectives, so I actually have like not terrible objective damage. And even though the game ends with me at 2 items, any further gold would just be spent on more tank items. Yep. In a complete reverse scenario, here I'm playing Rumble, who provides very little team utility but does a lot of damage. I stop my lane and build up a lead. He got his up. Oh. Oh, I almost got my Q up again. What's good about this build is that in this situation, I don't really need more damage because Liandry's Rumble is already melting their team, so Unending Despair will have value in making me more difficult to punish than with a normal build. Because of the interaction between the two items, I am still increasing my overall damage while increasing my defenses. Oh my god. Talon got deleted, and also Shogun should be like, it's just a party up here. Oh, okay. The best part about this build on this type of champion is that I can just continue with a normal build and continue to boost the synergy of the two items, as Riftmaker is incredibly good with both Liandry's and Unending Despair. I need anti-heal, like... Oh, nice. Oh, and we feared the Yumi. Okay, forgot smurfing. Okay, we gotta play slow. Help with that. Okay. Now, of course, you could also play support champions in the support role. I'd say the only problem here is that your gold income is less than in other roles. And these items are a bit more expensive for a support. You can take an income rune, like Treasure Hunter or Catchback, to help with this a little bit. Oh. Oh, black, gold. An early lead can lead to an early Liandry's, which can help you snowball even harder than you otherwise would as a support. Taking kills will happen a bit more naturally than normal, and it isn't even that bad because the amount of individual map pressure that you will offer is so much higher than normal that your carries will have a much easier time farming anyway. Going for this build will encourage you to play more aggressively and reward you for it. But that's the gist of this tech. Because it's just an item combo, you can build this in a lot of different situations. I'm also fairly confident that this could be a competitively viable build if teams explored it a little bit. Anyway, I'm slowly but surely working to get content out while waiting for TFT Set 14 to release on PBE, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, thanks for watching.